What is up guys, welcome back to a new video. Most people never learn how money really works. I definitely didn't myself, and that led to the point that I made some mistakes that cost me money, and that's why in this video I want to share 10 money rules I wish I knew when I started earning. And I really wish someone told me these rules earlier, because these rules can completely change the way you handle your money and your finances. When I started earning, I thought money was just about making more money, but then I realized it's really about what you do with it. Before I jump into rule number 1, make sure to stick to the very end of this video, because the last rule is actually the one that helped me to start building wealth instead of just saving my money. Alright, let's go. Rule number 1, pay yourself first. So whenever you get paid, whether it's a salary or income from your business, make always sure to pay yourself first. It simply means that you save before spending and you automate this process. If you just allow yourself to spend all the money you get paid, it won't benefit you in any way. That won't allow you to become financially stronger and build your finances. It's almost like you're blowing your money away in a way that it doesn't mean anything to you. So focus on paying yourself first. Think a little bit about how much you need to save in order for you to still pay your important bills, but the key here is that you're saving every time you get paid, because over time that allows you to build your savings, and as a result you're building a healthy habit that will allow you to build your finances over time. Rule number 2, never rely on one source of income. This rule is actually super powerful. When I first heard this, I was like, really? Are there multiple ways I can make money? Because the common thought all of us have is that you have a full-time job, you're working, and you get paid from that, right? And many people still don't know other ways how money can be earned. When you have multiple sources of income, you're going to be financially more stable. You're going to be more confident about your financial situation, and you're not that stressed if something happened. If you're working now a normal full-time job, the best way for you to start building a second or third income source is just by spending your time after work on building something important, such as building new skills. When you build valuable skills that can actually make you money, for example digital marketing, video editing, copywriting, first off it makes you more valuable. So as a result, once you put that in practice, in the long term, if you focus on that, you can definitely start making money from that. So the point is that outside your full-time job, you need to focus your time, for example just 1 hour a day, on building new skills that can later on make you money. Focus on skills that make you more valuable, something that have high demand these days. And by working on building a skill 1 hour a day allows you to commit to the process. So you're working on it daily, and in a week it's already 7 hours of work. So it's very important to stay consistent, because that way you'll be able to see the results much faster. And if building skills sounds something that's not for you, you can also focus on investments. Before I started building any skills, I actually got interested about investing. So it's really important that besides saving, you put some money to investments. And putting your money in investments early on is actually one of the most effective ways to create multiple income sources in the future. Rule number 3, avoid bad debt. So this means, for example, credit cards or high interest loans. There's no point to use credit cards or take high interest loans if you're not able to pay them. Or let's say that you know that you won't be able to handle them financially, then you should not look at it even as an option, and never take a loan on something you don't really need. Instead, focus on healthy financial habits that will allow you to grow your finances over time and build your wealth by saving and investing monthly. Rule number 4, learn to budget. So budgeting is quite simple but very effective if you're not able to manage your money in a proper way. So you don't need to overdo this, but the great example could be, for example, that you spend 50% on your needs, you spend 20% on your wants, and 30% goes to your savings/investments. That's the classic way to do that. What it does is that it allows you to make smart financial moves that will support your financial growth in the future. By budgeting your money, you're limiting the amount of money you're going to spend during the month. And basically you're forcing yourself to save and invest something. That's why budgeting works extremely well, especially if you don't know how to control your finances. And that's something I recommend trying. Myself, I've never focused too much on budgeting because simply it just didn't work for me. I usually do my decisions about how I'm gonna spend my money, how much I save and how much I invest before I get paid. So usually I have already calculated everything of what amounts I'm gonna put into investments and savings and so on. But if you're not sure how to manage your money, creating a budget could definitely be a great way to start putting some efforts into learning how to save your money and invest, and how much you're gonna spend every month. Rule number 5, invest early, even if it's small. Compounding works in your favor if you start as soon as possible. Like I always say, the earlier you start investing, the better. The more time you allow your money to grow, the more it's going to compound. So simply the best way to do this is that you pick some kind of an index fund, for example S&P 500, and you're investing monthly in there, for example, let's say $50 or $100. And if you do that, for example, for over 30 years, with an average return of 8% per year, you're gonna definitely end up with a big amount of money. And the fact is that the effort to put in isn't that big, but the result you end up with over time is tremendous. So never underestimate the power of starting investing early, even if it's small amounts. That's the most important thing when it comes to building wealth over long term. Rule number 6, don't try to time the market. So basically, long-term consistency always beats short-term gambling. Let's just begin with the fact that timing the market is basically impossible. So let's say you are investing in stocks and you try to time the market to find where the stock price is the cheapest or where it's at the highest. So you're trying to find out where to buy and where to sell. If you're really trying to time the market, usually it goes in a poor way and you might wait too long, so the price drops and you're not going to be able to sell as high as you want to, or you wait too long and prices start to go up, so you're not be able to buy at a cheaper price. So what I would do is I would definitely focus on long-term investing with cost-effective index funds. But if you're really interested in investing in stocks, I would just make my own research, figure out when is the best time to buy them and when to sell them. Timing the market is basically impossible. So basically timing the market beats timing the market. Now let's be honest, I also like to pick individual stocks. However, I'm not trying to time the market. Let's say I want to get 80% return on my individual stock. Now, if I'm able to reach that, and I still think there's more potential to grow with that stock, I might think about that for a bit. But if it feels like I'm not sure about that, I'm just gonna sell it and take the profit. If I'm gonna take the risk that it's gonna go up even more, yes, that might be true, but there's also a chance that after that, can come down pretty quickly, and then I'm not going to be able to sell it at 80% return. So basically playing with market is kind of like gambling, so that's why long-term consistency always beats short-term gambling. Rule number 7, keep your lifestyle in control. So what I mean by this is that if you start earning more, that doesn't mean that you need to spend more. So if you're able to earn more, you need to focus on saving and investing even more, because over time that's actually what's going to make you wealthier. Sometimes it's natural that once you start making a bit more, your expenses also grow a bit, but mainly you need to focus on investing and saving, especially investing. If you start earning more or you get a raise, the mindset you should have is that you should think of it as an opportunity to put more money into your investments and savings. The important thing here to realize is that if you get paid more or you start earning more in general, don't spend more just because you can. That won't allow you to become financially stronger. Being able to have a controlled financial lifestyle is very valuable, because that allows you to manage your finances properly, and you're not going to spend your money on something pointless just because you have money at that moment. Rule number 8, prioritize learning over earning. So this basically comes down to the first stages of earning money. And I know I should have done this myself when I started earning, but I didn't really know about building any skills until I was 21 or something. Skills and knowledge multiply your earning potential forever. So that's why it's super important that as soon as you hear this, you start focusing on building new skills that can later on make you money. Because if you only focus on earning, meaning you, for example, work a full-time job, you're always going to trade your time for money, when you could actually build a profitable business based on your skills you've learned. And you basically build a system where it runs automatically. So you can be doing something else and your business is automatically running and making money for you. That's just super powerful thing about learning skills and putting them in practice. That can really change the way you create your own wealth. That's really something I would not wait on. That's something I would really start prioritizing and take action. So if you're right now working a full-time job, I'm not saying you should quit it, but during your free time or when you're just relaxing, invest 1 hour daily on building skills and knowledge. Rule number 9, emergency fund. So emergency fund is non-negotiable. Roughly 3 to 6 months of expenses. It's gonna allow you to have peace of mind and freedom to take risks. If something unexpected happens, you're not out of money immediately. You basically have something that allows you to stay calm and confident about your finances. The last rule, rule number 10, this is the one that helped me to start building my wealth instead of just saving my money. Make money work for you. So basically, think of money as employees. Don't trade time for every dollar forever. Let your investments and assets earn while you sleep. As soon as I heard this, I just started thinking why nobody told me this earlier. And if you learn how to put your money to work for you, that's basically the biggest advantage you can have in terms of building your wealth over long term. Because if you only save all your money, you're losing on potential returns. Never underestimate the power of building new skills, learning about money daily, and investments. Focus on making money work for you, and I hope that after watching this video, you have some ideas of what you can start doing. Now, if you made it to the end, I highly appreciate you. Now, if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the newest uploads. If you want to avoid financial mistakes, make sure you watch this video next. It is about 3 money habits that keep you broke. If you're new to the channel, click here to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.